Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Leaders of Impact podcast. This episode we are covering AI attention because we see so much out there on how to use AI. Look, it is developing at the speed of light. There are so many things out there that really support and assist workflow, elevate thought processes when it's used in a particular way. Now, there is something to consider, and this is the conversation around AI attention. Because if you are leading a team and you are starting to implement more and more tools to look at increasing the efficiency and the flows and look at how else you can use it to benefit the way that you work day to day and your people work day to day and how you serve your customers, then there's something very real to consider here. What is happening is it's developing at such a rapid rate. Sometimes you can feel overwhelmed by it. And if you're the one that's responsible for even communicating and leading and training others in it, and then if you feel that it's way ahead of you, unless you're really owning that and having a conversation with your people that you are all learning in real time, as well as implementation, but you are confident in guiding it, then this could be a challenge. Because if you, like we've covered in previous episodes, if there's any insecurity there, then this is where the challenge and doubt on top of these changes will come into play, because the unknown can be scary for some people. Some people thrive on it and love it, but for others, unknown is concerning, because what all of the developments and the rapid change within the workforce means is it's no longer determined on how roles will play out. I mean, there's always been a certain huge amount of evolution in play, but now there's a certain external consideration here that wasn't there before. So now there's additional questions that people may have, as in, will this replace my role? Will this take me out of the equation? What if I'm not good with technology? And if this is not something that you are considering or addressing, then trust can erode on here. So what is happening around here with the conversation around AI development is it's being implemented. And if you are someone that you've been leading the charge, but if technology isn't your strong suit, because for some of us, it's not. For me, I'm more of a people-based person. So for me, technology, I like to stay as updated as I can. But for some people, it will be easier to adapt than others. And you've got to be able to support both and have the open conversations around that. This is also why culture is so important, to be able to have a space of open feedback and growth and learning. Because if people are having challenges, but they don't feel safe to come to you, then they may be pausing and feel like they're going backwards because they haven't been able to raise that they are feeling that there's barriers. And look, that goes across the board with anything. But this is specifically, have a think about if there is anyone out there that is struggling to apply it or look at how to use it and integrate it, then spend time with them and also look at what other training there is out there, because there is so many offerings right now. So if you're feeling that there is barriers, who else does the training? Who else does the development around this? Now, why this matters is for teams, if they don't really have that clear leadership, the clear frameworks that they can work through, what will happen is you'll have the early adapters all in and so excited, but the ones in the middle and the ones that do struggle, they will almost withdraw and pull back. And if you are too focused on, right, this is the result, this is where we're going, we're just all coming along here without pausing to reflect on how it's looking for each person and those check-ins, this is where challenges will arise. Now, the cost of getting the implementation and the ongoing management and conversations and feedback of this, it's not just productivity based. It is psychological safety. And this ties into what I was just saying about having an open environment for feedback, a culture of growth, and an environment where people feel safe to fail. They feel safe to raise things that they are having challenges with. If they don't have that, they will retreat, they will go backwards, they will disengage. Now, there is research out there from McKinsey Group that does actually demonstrate organizations which are very proactive within this. They support the growth of more confidence, more connection, lower attrition, and these are all things that enable you to continue to grow further and build those relationships with your team. So this is very much about your values is very much around how you handle uncertainty. So I really want you to lean into this. What are your values around the unknown, uncertainty, and challenges? Because if you are typically someone who doesn't like the unknown, or when things completely change, that will shine through the cracks. Even if you're really trying hard to hide it, that will come through, because it will come through on how you perceive, on how you respond, and how you communicate things. This is why when we talk about role modeling, it's so important to be really genuine and really honest with how you are feeling about something. If you are someone who does not like change, that's okay, but own it and use that as a point to build the connection. As in, look, I don't like change either, but this is how we're going, and there is this positive benefits in it. So if we look at, let's develop the knowns and the certainty within the unknowns. This is where we're going. This is how we're going to do it. We are aware things will come up, and then we'll note them down and address them individually as we go along. Make things bite-sized. So impact on your team. When we talk about uncertainty and when you've got new things coming into play, mention the job security. That's a big one, because it puts a question mark over what's going to happen. If people also feel unseen, so if you are also excited, if you love change and you're excited and forging a path, great, but don't lose people along the way. Make sure they feel seen, make sure concerns are genuinely recognized and not just dismissed of, come on, times are moving, get with the program. That will make people disengage faster than you can imagine. They'll feel unvalued, unseen, unrecognized. So the other thing is silence from leadership. Again, this raises more questions, more concerns than owning up to when you are unsure about something. Silence is one of the worst things that you can do, because what happens is then your people make assumptions on what's going on. And those assumptions, for the most part, they're not usually good. Now, ways forward, there's a few here. One is really educate yourself, which I'm sure you're doing already, but continue to do that. If you've still got questions, look for where else you can fulfill them and really own that. Be honest about it, because the more you try and hide if you've got any gaps yourself, the more you won't be open to exploring how to fill that with knowledge. Now, the other side is really open up with your team and having the conversations with them. Is you might want to create regular, fast 15 check-ins. What's coming up for you? What are your doubts? What are your challenges? What are you learning? What are you implementing? What are your successes? Really fast check-ins that people will know that they're coming and then start to plan for. What you can also do is really focus in, and this what I'm about to cover addresses directly the question about insecurity around jobs and how secure they are. Tap into really highlighting with them and having a conversation around what they bring to their role, which AI cannot. For example, the relationships, judgment, context, care, the personal contact. There's a lot there that we cannot lose, the humanity of roles of the workplace that cannot be replaced. So think about how you're implementing it, where you sit with it, where your people do, and really consider how you can bring all of these into play, very much more values-based, looking at what those outcomes are and having an open conversation around it. So I'd love to hear how you're going. My closing remark to you on this: what is your current position with AI, with yourself and your team? Where do you stand? Where do they stand? Get really clear on that. And if you can't get clear on it, there's the challenge, because there's already a big unknown that needs to be addressed there. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you in the next episode.